Hi, everybody. Welcome to Connecting Our Community. Today we have with us from the city of Wildwood, Mayor Jim Bowlin and the economic developer, Julian Jacquin. Thank you guys so much for being with us.
Thank you, Lori.
Thanks, Lori.
So, Mayor, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing at the city of Wildwood and how you guys are coping with everything.
Well, sure. I guess the first thing I would say is I just want to thank all of our residents and others who are on the front lines of this situation, working in medical offices, the grocery stores, and so forth, because we really owe them a lot of gratitude for keeping our economy and our society moving and putting themselves at risk, frankly, to do that. So just wanted to thank all of them on behalf of our city. And, you know, relative to what we're doing, Lori, this has been a very fluid situation. It's been a number of orders that have come down, some simultaneously from the St. Louis County Department of Health, St. Louis County Executive, the governor, the Missouri Department of Health. And, you know, we've just had to sort through all those and make sure that we not only comply with them, but you know, work within all of the various rules to keep our government functioning. And I'm pleased to report that we have, in fact, kept Wildwood government functioning seamlessly for our residents. City Hall is open, although we have had to make, as you might expect, some changes to protect our residents and team members like Julian that work at City Hall. So, you know, we do things by appointment. We have reduced our meetings to only those that are essential. And we observe the recommended distancing and minimum number of people in rooms. And we've, probably the biggest thing is opened our meetings to the ability of our meeting participants, whether it's our city council or our planning and zoning commissioners, to participate by video conference. And of course, one of the programs that I started in, I believe 2017, not long after I became mayor, not anticipating a day like today, but is a live stream. You know, we now live stream all of our meetings, and that has the added benefit in times like these, because our residents, should they choose to not come to City Hall to a meeting for obvious reasons, you know, they can now view the meeting either while it's occurring or later, because they're all archived on live stream, and we have links for those on our website. So we've had to alter a few things, long story short, but we've done that, and we've done it successfully. And to my knowledge, there hasn't been any interruption of our resident services, and we're going to keep it that way. Our charter requires that our city council meets at least once a month, and that can't change, no matter how much someone might want to change that. So we have to comply with the rules and going forward. And so we're going to continue to meet, but we're going to do it within these parameters. And we're getting a lot of good feedback from our residents as to how we're doing. So I really appreciate their patience, and I really appreciate our residents who have sacrificed by, you know, changing their routine, working from home, social distancing, and all of those, and all those things that they're doing. So that's much appreciated as well. So that's sort of what we've been doing from a governance standpoint in terms of keeping our city rolling for our residents. And we've also, just to segue into some business economic issues, we have rolled out a new program. I'll let Julian speak to that, but unless you had any follow-up, Lori, that's what we're doing.
No, that's great. I appreciate it. It's good. I mean, all the cities, the fact that you guys are able to maintain, you know, business as usual is quite good for the, you know, the city. So that's great. And are you on the council meetings? Are you doing that through Zoom?
We are doing those through Zoom. If a council member or a planning and zoning commissioner, we're actually going to do a planning and zoning commission meeting this evening, not too long from now. And if they want to attend in person, they can do that. But we, you know, have the chairs separated by 6 feet, as we did at the last council meeting, to promote social distancing. And that's going to continue to be the case, you know, so they can attend, or they can, you know, if they prefer, or certainly if they're in a high risk group, they can participate, as I mentioned earlier, by the video conferencing feature.
And do you limit that to 10 in a room?
we do limit attendance to 10 in a room, and we have, in the event we have too many beyond that, for the council chambers, we've allocated our community room for overflow.
Okay.
And we would give priority seating in the council chambers to residents that may want to speak publicly at our council meeting. Any resident should be entitled to petition their government and to come to the podium and speak. And I plan to be physically at council meetings and planning and zoning meetings so that they can have the ability to do that, and the mayor will be in the room.
Very good. All right. And Julian, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Working from home, right?
We are. Yeah, most of us at City Hall have been doing so for the last 2 weeks.
So tell us a little bit about, I'm excited to hear about your new the economic stimulus plan that you guys have going on.
I think most of the real component of what we're trying to do is just acting as a conduit to help our local business owners get through this, try to help them succeed, try to provide them with certain information and resources to help them do their jobs and stay in business and hopefully continue to stay in business. Shortly after most of the orders were issued, we started creating a resource page on our website, much like many of our other neighboring cities and the chamber and other bodies have done, to create kind of a data portal for available resources, funding mechanisms, listing of different restaurants and so on. And we created our website, which is at cityofwildwood.com/coronavirus or /corona, to do just that, be a main data source for people in the community, residents, business owners. And we are updating and adding information to that website every day. It's definitely expanded since we first created it a couple of weeks ago, but it includes information that's been passed down by St. Louis County as far as what the county has determined to be essential services, what are identified to be essential businesses that are allowed to remain open during this time. Also a listing of what businesses in Wildwood really are considered to be eligible services and eligible businesses. Shortly after the closure of dine-in portions of restaurants was released, we created a listing of local restaurant information on our website that identifies a listing of all restaurants that are still open in some capacity, what the available services each is offering, whether it's carry-out, delivery, curbside, and we update that regularly every day. Also, just today, I believe there were a few different announcements about limitations on grocery stores. We made sure to release that information as well for how that impacts our residents at Schnucks and Deerbergs and those types of stores. One of the main pages that I continue to update almost daily is it seems like every day there's a different funding tool out there that can really assist local business owners with bridging the gap, paying for certain needs such as payroll and rent and utilities. Since the CARES Act was approved a couple weeks ago now, there's certain funding tools available that weren't available beforehand that can really help business owners to pay their bills during this time. Worried about how they can pay for their employees, how they can pay their rent. We've identified different economic injury disaster relief loans from the SBA, new emergency grants of $10,000 that are available, the new payroll protection program that assigns forgivable loans for up to 8 weeks that can go towards payroll and rent, different funds that are available from St. Louis City and St. Louis County through the Economic Development Partnership and the Development Corporation, trying to provide these basic sets of information that can help these business owners pay their bills, manage to succeed, and continue to be in business for long periods of time. The thing that the mayor mentioned is we actually had a business owner came to us directly and was looking for new ways to generate additional interest during this time. Some of our local boutique stores that don't have a curbside presence are looking for ways to still be active and be present in the community. And this business owner specifically asked us to look into creating a new campaign to help advertise the availability of gift cards. So this is a new Rally for Retail campaign. This was started in New England. The business owner participated in an email exchange with these groups from New England, and we created it on our Facebook page, Rally for Retail. And this campaign encourages people to buy gift cards online, and that can help those business owners to pay their bills today so that those people can come back after this all passes and use those gift cards. So we launched that last Thursday. We'll plan to continue to post updates every week. There's a page on our website that has that information as well, hoping to help encourage people to continue to shop local even in these challenging times.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's a really great idea. I love that. And get that to us too if we don't already have it. We can share it out as well. Are there any good stories or good will that you all have seen in the community? I know with the, this pandemic, it's all brought us all closer, all around the world. We're all in this together. So a lot of stories of just that have been sharing of good things and community getting together. Are there any stories in Wildwood that you guys have?
Well, Lori, I would just say that, I think part of what Julian mentioned in terms of the rally for retail is one of our examples of that, that we're trying to get going. And I actually received emails from people before we started that who were residents wanting to participate, in something similar that they could do to help our businesses. And so I know it answers that. And I've heard some discussions among others as to other residents, as to what we might do in the future. I think at the moment, there are a lot of ideas floating around, and we're all, all of our residents, we're including those of us, in Wildwood government. I mean, we're doing our best to navigate a situation that changes even fairly constantly. Even the funding programs that Julian mentioned, those are changing frequently. So I think once we've had the opportunity to take a breath after we get through some of this, then we'll be able to step back and possibly come up with some other ideas.
That's great. Well, thank you guys so much. I know for the people watching or, sharing this, it's always great to have people, see behind the scenes and what's going on with this city. So thank you guys both for doing such a great job with the city of Wildwood. It's a great city, growing, and you guys are doing great with your leadership. So businesses are very blessed to have you guys.
Yeah, well, I wanted to mention one other thing too, in terms of coming together. Our council actually at its last meeting by a supermajority passed an emergency resolution. You may have read about it in the press. It was resolution 2020-11. And what it did was it gave me the ability as mayor to suspend ordinances or do things that, on an immediate necessary basis as this COVID situation continues to unfold, need to be done. And in fact, it's great that they did that for several reasons. And one of them occurred just late last week when St. Louis County closed parks, and we were concerned that some of our trails were being used for congregating by large groups. And so, I moved forward with I didn't close the trails, but just closed the parking lots to the trails so people can still access them by bicycle or on foot, but it nevertheless, would mitigate that situation. So I really appreciate those on the council who supported this because we're now seeing the effectiveness of that in terms of being able to help our residents.
Yeah, well, good job. And I mean, that's the one thing with the leadership in cities and counties and the state, the world, it's a lot of responsibility to, mitigate and make sure that our residents are doing what they should do to keep them safe, to flatten the curve, and so we can get through this and see what's on the other side. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to end it now, and thank you guys.